Welcome back to Wimbledon. We have one of Saturday's finalists, world number 2, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. And in the other semifinal, world number 1, Steffi Graf, is facing number 4 seed Jana Novotna. We picked this matchup in the first set, game 3, Steffi Graf serving, tied at 1-all.
So Graf answers back to Novotna after Novotna had broken the number 1 player in the world in the opening game. Steffi Graf looks for her 17th Grand Slam title, her 6th here at Wimbledon. What a year. 30-0 coming in.
Steffi's had an easy route to get to the semifinal. She's almost playing in a hurried fashion, like she wants to get off the court quick, coming into the net a lot more than usual. You sort of have to wonder if that's because she doesn't want to aggravate her back even further.
Well, very few give Novotna a chance. Most of the setup to this semifinal has been recalling what happened 2 years ago when Novotna was 5 points from winning Wimbledon and collapsed, and Graf accepted another Wimbledon title.
I don't think Jana herself has high expectations. She didn't have entering this tournament. She's had no warm-up tournament. A very disappointing French, that match with Chanda Rubin, where she really should have won that match. So she's just very happy to be on center court in the semifinals.
She is the only player of the Final Four to have dropped a set. Nicole Provis-Bratke forced her to a 3-set win, 6-4 in the third. She did defeat the 6th seed Kimiko Dottie in straights in the quarterfinals. Another on serve, 2-1, opening set. Beautiful stride of Steffi Graf returning to the court. 5 matches, so she's allowed just a little under 3.5 games per match. Total of 17, and gets her work done in less than an hour. Jana Novotna, 1-2 opening set. Terrific point for Novotna.
And while Steffi has a very good efficient volley, it is a bit predictable and doesn't have the sting to it that the natural volleyers have. Oof.
2 consecutive solid points. Good scoring by Novotna.
Modeling her game after the other Czech players, Hanna Manlikova, Martina Navratilova, Helena Sikova, all great serve and volleyers, and I think it helped to have those role models.
Yeah, the Czech Republic certainly has delivered top grass court players. There's Hanna Manlikova into the International Tennis Hall of Fame a year ago. And our talented partner, Chris Evert, will be the lone inductee next weekend at Newport, Rhode Island, at the International Tennis Hall of Fame. And
Hanna's not to
talk
enough about me, but let's talk about Hanna a little bit. She's also played Steffi 9 times, lost to her 8 times. She probably told Jana what not to do out there. I played her at the finals of Wimbledon, and we were in the dressing room, and there was a picture of Maureen Conley on the wall, and she asked me who that was. And I realized the women need a little more history, I think.
Well, we all congratulate you. It's a terrific honor, and we hope it's a delightful weekend. We'll be out in Colorado Springs for the U.S. Women's Open Golf. Wish we could be there, but we know.
I wish you could too.
Yeah, I just cry a lot anyway, so it's better I not be around. I'm a sucker for those things. It's been quite a run. Bud Collins going in last year, and Chris this year. We're watching a woman now, Steffi Graf, who certainly will be. They'll reserve a spot for her.
Oh, come on.
Well, there's a game well earned by Jana Novotna.
A lot of net cords today. Women have come to expect them now that the ball's going to go over the net. Good reaction.
2 good saves. Graf 2-all. Well, there's the Hall of Famers results in the big events. 2 Australians, all-time record, 7 French, 3 Wimbledons, and 6 U.S. Open. Comes out to 18. 3rd best ever. Ace for Graf, her first. Margaret Court with 24 Grand Slams. Helen Wills Moody 19. Chris and Martina with 18. And then Steffi Graf, moving rapidly up that ladder, is sitting on 16, but certainly is favored to win her 17th at this Wimbledon.
She'll be breaking a few records. She's only 26 years old. Even that Martina winning 9 Wimbledons is reachable for her.
The 27th meeting between Graf and Novotna. Graf winning all but 3 and 8-1 in their Grand Slam matchups. Novotna beat Graf in the '91 Australian Open quarterfinals for her 1 Grand Slam win. (3-2) on serve.
The Championships, Wimbledon, brought to you by the totally new Ford Contour, a world car for the 21st century. By Pepsid AC Acid Controller, you can be heartburn-free with new Pepsid AC. By DuPont, better things for better living. And by Pert Plus Shampoo and Conditioner, great hair, no fuss.
Well, they played on this court 2 years ago for the championship, and Novotna with a golden opportunity that she let escape. Since then, they've met 8 times, and Graf has won in straight sets each time. 2-3. It's the first time in the Open era that an American woman has not reached the Wimbledon semifinals, so a low point in that regard for the U.S.
Well, it's been a tough year for American tennis because Jennifer is hopefully temporarily out of the game. Martina Navratilova retiring, but I think a few young prospects on the horizon. Venus Williams, remember that name.
So at love, Novotna, 3-all. Oh, you have mixed emotions. On one hand, you want Venus to mature, not get into the heavy duty of a full pro tour too soon. On the other hand, a lot of folks can't wait for her to arrive.
She played one tournament last year, and we haven't seen her since, so her father is protecting her schedule, but we'll see her in San Diego.
That's the first weekend in August on NBC at La Costa.
Actually, you'll see the top 4 players in the world playing that tournament also. That's a big tournament.
And there are rumors that that might also, along with the top 4, include Monica Seles. Yet to be determined. She said she'll play maybe Los Angeles, maybe La Costa before the U.S. Open. Again, as we were commenting yesterday, those eyes riveted on the ball until well after it had left the racket.
She likes to target. Jana Novotna smart to try to come in, but make that approach a little bit deeper and try to make it to her backhand side. That forehand is lethal.
And the second ace. So Novotna holds it love, and Graf answers her the same.
This looks pretty good stuff right here. This wrinkles someone's tennis fights.
Semifinals, Steffi Graf, Jana Novotna, the winner to meet Arantxa Sanchez Vicario in the finals. Graf broken by Novotna to open the match, and Graf broke right back. They're on serve 3-4. And since those first 2 games, no break points, and each player has held serve rather comfortably. And in fact, by winning 3 games, Novotna in this opening set has all but equaled the average of the Graf opponents the first 5 matches here.
And this is a different Steffi Graf than we saw against Mary Jo Fernandez when she was in complete control. She liked Mary Jo's rhythm. But Jana Novotna is really mixing up the pace, hitting a lot of slice balls. coming into the net, giving her a target, daring her to pass her.
She's won 8 straight points on her serve. And another game at love for Jana Novotna, 4-all.
Both women have excellent serves, high ball toss. Jana perhaps bending a little bit more at the waist. Steffi gets more body into her serve, though, which is ironic because Jana's the one that serves and volleys, so she should be getting into the court better. Oh. Well, she guessed right there because Steffi really had the whole court open on that cross-court side, but Jana just anticipated it.
Played very well. Her nerves are well in check.
And Steffi really giving her a lot of free points. I think Jana is a different player than she was 2 years ago. At Wimbledon, her draw really toughened her up. She beat Navratilova in the semi. She beat Sabatini in the quarters. By the time she got to Steffi Graf, she was pumped up and she was very confident. She's been struggling this year in the draw, not really beating any big names.
The only seeded player, Kamiko Date, the 6th seed, but not a real strong game to challenge a serve and volleyer. Great effort, but left so well off the court. Easy point for Graf.
She really
30-all.
stays low to the ground, too, when she moves.
Oh, a break point for Novotna at 4-all. She has played surprisingly well. Break here, and she has a chance to serve for the first set. 5 points. That sound familiar? Oh, in the corner. Big forehand. 5 points was how close she came to beating Graf. 4-1, point for 5-1 in that final 2 years ago.
Nothing Steffi Graf could do about that approach shot. That was nice and deep. And I think Jana prefers to play Steffi in the semifinals this year. A little less pressure in the semis, and the whole focus is not on you. It's on this match and the other semifinal match.
So a second serve at break point for Novotna to go 5-4.
See if she comes in off this serve.
Jana Novotna, the long shot in this Final Four this weekend, will be serving for a one-set lead when we come back. 2 years ago at Wimbledon, the finals against Steffi Graf, Jana Novotna, ever so close. 4-1 lead and 1 point from 5-1, but it fell apart. Then at match point, Graf, given so many free points by Novotna, put it away. Her 5th Wimbledon championship, and she would climb into the crowd, hug her mother and father, and a different outpouring of emotions for Novotna. The Duchess told her, "You'll win someday," and Jana said that really triggered the emotional outburst. Well, she's very confident and cool on this late afternoon in England, and now serves for a one-set lead.
Well, Jana certainly has the game to win on grass, and she has the talent, the ability. But the big question always is, does she have the nerve? Certainly didn't have it at the French when she lost to Chanda Rubin.
Well, Graf, sensing the peril of losing this opening set, just quickly gets herself into a 3 break point situation.
I think after a while, matches like that, Jana at Wimbledon at the French, it starts to take its toll.
No, because the press never let you forget about it.
Right, but also she keeps putting herself on the line, and she keeps losing these matches or choking a little bit. Has to be disheartening to her too.
Good serve. 2 breakers erased. Caught the baseline. Graf breaks back. 5-all. Titanium paste flew to the dismay of Novotna. So each with 2 breaks in this opening set. The sideline.
Steffi's playing it so close, that last point, and then this point, the swinging volley. She just always goes for the lines, and that's why if she's a little off, she can have some pretty bad losses, but if she's on, she looks brilliant.
The only reasonable scare in this championship, Amanda Kutzer lost to Graf 6-3, 7-5, and in that second set pushed Graf. That's the only time close to someone taking a set from her. First double fault. 5-all, 15-all.
Steffi having made a few more errors on her ground strokes this match. I think that's why she's coming into the net, because she's not as confident in the back court.
And Novotna realizing she has to play Graf's backhand whenever possible, but Graf is so clever and fast moving, she can run around most of those efforts unless you really pin her in the corner.
Jana's going to come in off every second serve Steffi Graf's, especially up from her backhand return. Good jumping there.
30 all.
Questioning another call, this time on the serve. Ooh.
Amazing she stayed on her feet. She thought that her serve was long, but game point. Yeah, the unforced errors on that backhand wing. 5 all and deuce in this opening set. Forced errors total. Novotna 4 less than Graf, and that's why she's very much in the set. Double fault for second.
And maybe, like you're saying, Dick, maybe, you know, they were involved in that match watching on the TV. Maybe Steffi thought she was going to come out here sooner. A little bit of a letdown when you first come out here after an exciting match and you're waiting around.
Another backhand error. And with it, break point.
I'm sure Steffi, the perfectionist that she is not happy with her performance so far. Jana playing very well, but Steffi making a lot of errors, unforced errors.
That's the kind of point where you'd like to see her go over the top with that backhand instead of slicing down the line. Jana Novotna will serve again for the opening set. Well, after tea time, London, 10 minutes past 5. At 4 all, Graf broken. Chance to serve out the set. Novotna broken. 5 all, Graf broken again. And now it's Jana Novotna, the number 4 seed, with a chance to capture the opening set. They traded breaks first 2 games of the match, so Graf digs in.
Well, this is a real surprise to me, Dick, because Steffi's just breezed through the draw up until now, and Jana's been shaky with almost every match that she's played. But Jana's been able to raise her game 2 levels, not 1 level, but 2 levels to play Steffi. Perhaps the pressure's off. She wants to redeem herself after that match 2 years ago.
Novotna playing Graf's backhand every occasion she can. Now she's 2 points from the set. Three set points for Novotna. Well, here's a mini test for her. She plays her best tennis from behind, and perhaps her shakiest in the big matches went ahead. Let's see if Novotna can win this set. 3 chances. Well, you could have gotten pretty high odds at the local parlor on Novotna winning a set, much less the first set. That is a big surprise, and she finishes with a convincing overhead. 42 minutes.
Thank you. Quiet, please.
7-5 set. Won the last 7 points of the set. Now Graf has to play seriously from behind. Graf unbeaten this year, 30-0.
Steffi lacking rhythm in her game. She's had double faults. She's mistiming her ground strokes.
We told you Novotna, after that self-destruction on center court in the finals in '93, lost every match with Graf without winning a set, 6 in a row, till today. And after breaking Graf twice to finish the first set, she has 3 chances to get an early break in the second. How did that get over?
15-14.
She had heavy slice on this next backhand. It just stayed so low.
Two chances lost, one more. Grab an early lead, up a set. Oh my! We may be sitting on a stunner at center court.
You're watching the championships, Wimbledon, on NBC.
The front row, a little nervous now. Heidi Graf, Anna Mandlikova. Has to be very pleased with her pupil, Jana Novotna. Up a set, up a break.
Love 15.
But talk about not giving up. This is why Steffi Graf and Arantxa Sanchez have been fighting for the #1 spot this year. There's a big gap after #1 and #2 as far as mental toughness is concerned.
Not a very clean overhead, but it got the job done.
Had a lot of spin on it, though, a lot of slice. Good lob, because Steffi really closes into the net. Good strategy there.
Two good backhand returns in this game by Graf. And 2 chances then to earn the break back.
And she's just blocking these returns back. Nothing great, not a lot of power, but just blocking it, hitting the ball early, trying to get the ball down low. About no rhythm. You know, it's not on one particular shot, but every shot, whether it's Steffi's serve or her backhand, forehand, she's just missing by an inch. But it's the great thing about Steffi, though. She's been known to dig herself out of big holes and win even when she's not playing at her best.
And Novotna knows that best of all, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Third break point. To even the second set.
Game is Graf. 1 game on.
Steffi can relax a little bit easier now. And probably thinking to herself, let's stay close to her. Because she knows she's mentally tougher than Jana.
Well, you talk about digging emotionally. How about digging with that forehand? There was hardly any bounce at all for Graf. Still picked it off.
Her head stayed low. She was watching the ball the whole time.
That's her 4th double fault. Well, you talked about the first match, Chris, and how well conditioned Arantxa Sanchez Vicario is and how it paid off for her. We really have a sense here that if it goes a considerable length, that's a big plus for Graf. Novotna, you can hear her breathing heavily during the points. Well, the first set started break. Second set started the same. Graf broken, and then Steffi breaking back. Just joining us 7-5 Novotna with a surprising first set. And it's 1-all, 40-15.
Really cracking that forehand, just letting it go.
Volleys are lovely to watch, aren't they, when they're executed the way Novotna can. So few around that can volley like that. Welcome back to center court. Semifinals, Graf Novotna, our match summary. And you can see why Novotna is ahead in the match.
And talk about loss of timing. You see the first serve percentage. Steffi usually has that around 75–80%, and unforced errors off both sides.
Well, Novotna committing only 9 unforced. Up a set, 1-2 in the second.
But she's finding some rhythm now. The last few games.
It's a good approach. A little short, but
I think one thing she's realized this year is that she doesn't have to overpower her opponent on every point. I mean, she can use touch shots and finesse shots to still win a point. Just adding new dimensions to her game. We always knew she was powerful, but to see those short angles, that's being an all-court player.
15, 13.
Held that forehand just enough to let Graf commit. All.
Still not 100% confident with that shot, although she has hit a lot of great ones this tournament. On big points, it's still a weakness. Great court coverage by Steffi.
Yeah, the drop shot plays into her strength, doesn't it? The way she runs.
It does, but it's still a good shot because on grass, the ball will die more than any other surface.
Number
17 years the Rolex clock has presided over Fame Center Court. 1 hour into this semifinal match.
Comes up with the big shots when she needs them.
Well, Novotna is playing as well today as she did the first couple of sets, 2.5 sets 2 years ago in the final. She's just making all the shots. Showing good reserve, good control.
Steffi grimacing a little bit and holding her back after this shot.
2 games all. All changes.
2-all. New balls. And Graf.
Just walking around a little bit, trying to shake off.
She's wearing a brace, is she not?
She is wearing a brace. But she's still young, 26 years old, but her body is starting to show a little wear and tear. People forget she's been on the circuit full time for 13 years. Plus she overtrains. Works out harder than anyone.
Her work ethic is Spartan. Can't get her off the court.
Her coach, Heinz Gunhard, says she's obsessive about it.
Let's go back to the final point of the last game. That's the first time that she indicated
it's
that.
the first time this whole tournament that she's, and she twisted it when she went for that shot. Perhaps you can look at it as a blessing in disguise, though, because it has forced her to slow down quite a bit. If she wants longevity in her career, she just can't go at the full schedule that she has been. Not training as hard. She's not relying as much on ability now as strategy. Starting to think out the points a lot more. Although in her mind, maybe now is not the right time to get injured with Monica Seles coming back.
2-all, 30-all in the second set. Novotna took the opening set. 7-5. So, a remarkable effort thus far by this 26-year-old from the Czech Republic. And a break point. She's broken Graf 4 times in the match. Graf has answered 3. Graf said, finally I get an easy point.
Or finally I got a big first serve in.
Quiet it is, 13,000 plus. Barely breathing here as this drama builds. And she holds it her back again.
Steffi only knows how to play one gear. You know, it's impossible to ask her to take anything off the ball. Even if she's missing, she keeps hitting. She feels that her game will fall into place eventually. Wincing a little bit on that volley.
That was a big-time backhand pass by Novotna. Had plenty of heavy spin on it.
court very well.
Use.
She really gets down low. She crouches when she runs, and I think she gets that little extra speed that way.
Graf saving her second break point against her serve. Longest game of the match.
Really her best volley, that cross-court backhand volley. Very rarely misses a shot. Very rarely goes down the line. It's a very natural stroke for her. Slices it and carves it so well.
She walked it over. She hit it twice. Yeah. Point to Novotna, another break point. Or excuse me, back to deuce. Graf had the game point. Fifth deuce. Foot fault?
Oh, foot fault called.
First of the
Boy,
day.
everything's going against Steffi so far this match. But she keeps going for it. You can really hear from the box how she's clocking that forehand.
They were both screaming after that point. Novotna trying to get herself going, and Graf saying the same. The sixth deuce of this game. She didn't look real smooth going after that backhand.
I think the back, I don't think it bothers her serve as much as when she twists for those ground strokes. Jana just can't seem to be able to win that deuce point.
Well, she survives a long six-deuce game, a couple of break points. On serve in the second. So on the ropes, the #1 seed, who has had more than her share of injuries. 83 severed thumb, sinus surgery 92, the measles, shoulder problems a couple of different times, back strain. You could add 1995 to the back strain, bone chips in the right foot surgery. She's missed several weeks this year with shoulder and back problems. And her problem right now is directly in front of her, Jana Novotna.
I think a lot of those injuries are due to the change in surface. You know, a lot of the players, they go from hard course to clay course to grass course with little preparation. And also, as I said before, you know, she's very obsessive about training. She works twice as hard as any other player. Most of the players put 2 or 3 hours in. Steffi's out there 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, that odometer is running all the time.
She's a hyper person. You know, she has a lot of energy. She can't sit still for 1 minute.
15.
So she'll just go out and run 5 miles.
Heinz Gundhart in the black cap. Renee Stubbs, a hitting partner and friend of Steffi.
And Heinz is the one who's really talked to her a lot more about strategy and about court sense. Because she'd go out there before in previous years and just hit the ball. She was so powerful off that forehand. She moved so well. She really didn't have to do a lot of thinking. Now she will have to.
And starting to show some frustration openly now.
Well, experience is still on Steffi Graf's side because she's been in this situation many, many times in big tournaments, big matches. She has that confidence, that belief in herself that she can pull out this match.
Game.
3-all. Well, the one thing that has not happened is Jana Novotna giving her points. Novotna's made her earn. She's made some terrific plays herself. She's volleyed impeccably.
Well, we'll see when it gets closer to winning the match, if that happens. If we're going to see a repeat or if we're going to see a new Jana. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a new Jana. I think she's had so many disappointing, dramatic losses. It's about time the tide turned for her. She has so much talent.
Arantxa Sanchez Vicario beat Conchita Martinez. Awaits the winner of this match Saturday, live at 9 on NBC. We understand that Steffi has signaled for the trainer at the next sit-down.
She travels full-time with a trainer.
Alan Mills, the referee on the right, and the trainer, Miss Ortega.
Joni Eschenbacher, who used to work with the WTA, now is training with Steffi, traveling with her exclusively. She needs treatments all the time.
Trouble with that first serve.
Jana just hitting some wonderful overheads. gets back so quickly.
15-13.
She's always moving in, closing in on the net, but she really is very flexible about getting back and being very quick with that swing. Like that ball was going out that Steffi Graf hit.
30 all.
Three all, 30 all. Novotna with a set lead. Another break point for Novotna. She had two in the last Graf service game. Could not convert. She did break Graf to open the set. Graf broke right back. For a 4-3 lead.
Well, what do you call that shot? In a big
know.
point.
I don't know. You wouldn't even have gotten a run in cricket out of that one.
That's probably the easiest shot she's had all day.
Last few games, not many first serves in.
Oh.
Double fault. Her fifth.
Now these are some pretty big points for Jana Novotna. You talk about pressure, Dick. We're at a stage now where we're going to start to get an awful lot of pressurized points. This is the 7th game. Point for 4-3. Let's see how she handles it.
Opponent that seems not to be 100%. Back bothering her. The server.
Use.
The crowd sensing the missed opportunities here for Jana.
Those feet just moving all the time. It's a marvelous footwork. And the struggle continues. Novotna in the lead. Moments ago, Steffi Graf apparently just might be pills for relaxing or for pain.
Thank you.
And back to work she goes. Down a set, 3-4 in the second. Well, if you're playing an opponent, Chris, happen down at the recreational parks as well, you know your opponent's injured but still continuing.
Well, you try to get a lot of balls in the court and make them work hard. You know, not
a time for sympathy.
Not a time for sympathy, and just want them to hit a lot of balls. And not to say that you hope that they aggravate the injury any fuller, but
15-30.
try not to let it distract you. Also, some players, if they see a player being injured, I mean, they really change their game. They start drop shotting and lobbing, and they're trying too hard, and that doesn't work for them.
On the baseline. So now it's Graf with 2 break points.
15-14.
Chance for a 5-3 lead. Serve it out.
Just steering that return very well. Not a lot of power, but very accurate.
Graf leads by 5 games to 3.
Well, Novotna, 2 chances the last Graf service game, but couldn't convert to take the lead. Graf sees the opening and seizes it. 5-3. One of the ironies here, Novotna's doubles partner is Sanchez Vicario, and they're still alive in the doubles competition. And Sanchez Vicario awaits the winner of this match. Finals on Saturday. Balls that have been staying in the court now flying long off the racket of Jana Novotna.
Well, at 3-all, I think Steffi at that point just wanted to stay close with Jana, see what would happen. Steffi's not playing her best tennis. And Jana, she didn't choke, but she missed a lot of opportunities, got tentative. But since then, she's made a few more errors. That's what she stopped doing the last couple of games. She strayed from her original plan of trying to get into the net as much as possible.
pressure. Novotna with some answers and has a break point.
She came up with a great lob here. This next shot. Steffi's right on top. Her nose is right on top of the net, so it's a good play.
Chance to get back on serve. I don't know what she connected with on the volley, but she was surprised.
Boy, she hit some great forehands that point.
They're back on serve in the second.
Graf leads by 5-4, second set. First set.
After 6 o'clock in London, Rolex and Wimbledon share a tradition of quality and excellence. Reminder, tomorrow the men's semifinals. 4 hours for you. 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 Pacific. Becker and Agassi, Ivanisevic and Sampras.
Love of team.
Hasn't missed many of those. Again, Graf, 2 points from the set.
Interesting that Jana served and stayed back. We haven't seen that this whole match.
Now 40.
Showing you that she does have that flat backhand or top spin backhand as well as the slice, and it's a good weapon. She's just always reluctant to use it. Had to against Novotna, and now 3 set points.
Second set is Graf. 6-4.
Novotna again with her chances. Graf battling, denying, and then finally delivering. 6-4 in the second. Final set, Graf to open it up. Last time both ladies semifinals went 3 sets at Wimbledon was 15 years ago, 1980. Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley beat Tracy Austin 6-4 in the third, and Martina was beaten by Chris Evert 6-2 in the third. 15 years since we've had this kind of intense semifinal action. And there's where Novotna, career-wise, third set wins, only a +6 over 500.
Long. First service.
6 straight points now for Graf.
where Jana really has to go back to her game plan of just hitting out on that forehand, which is her big weapon, and slicing that backhand approach shot, keeping it low and coming into the net.
Game strong. First
At
game.
love, Steffi Graf. We're underway in the final set.
The Championships, Wimbledon, brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Dean Witter. There are many ways to measure success. Dean Witter measures success one investor at a time. By AT&T, your true choice. And by Hertz, for business, for pleasure. Nobody does it exactly like Hertz.
The moon promising its appearance, but that'll be 3 hours or so from now. The late nights, London and England so far north. Plenty of daylight left. Shadows pretty much covering the court now. Final set, Novotna, love 1.
Love 15.
First double fault. Novotna managed 2 complete sets without a double.
Oh.
Ooh, Graf pounding one off the net judge.
Thank you.
That'll ring your Fortescue.
Okay.
Now 30.
Now she's showing what we've seen before. Nerves, and it's 1-love in the third set. It's not the time to be nervous. This is the time to really show your stuff and play aggressive tennis. But her whole game has fallen to pieces right now. Perhaps she's thinking about that second set, those missed opportunities at 3-all.
11 straight points for Steffi Graf.
First service.
So a big run by Graf ends at 11 in a row. Setting sun into the eyes above our commentary booth into Hanna Madlikova.
Well, that's what we saw the first set, getting some big first serves in and volleying with authority.
Game is strong.
So the 2 double faults make it a bit too easy for Graf. The long
Graf leads by 2 games to
unforced
love.
off the backhand, and it's a 2-love lead for the 5-time Wimbledon champion.
And not a good sign when Jana serves and stays back, because that's not her game. That shows she's being timid.
Now 15.
Good anticipation with that lunging volley.
Now 30.
she's behind. It's only when she gets close and she senses she has a chance to win the match does she tighten up. The last 3 or 4 points, she's really let her ground strokes flow. Stayed down for that ball very well.
So relaxed on that backhand. Two more chances to get the break back. A little tough for Graf now as she serves to Novotna. Novotna returning out of the shadows into the sun. Didn't have any trouble reading that one. Well, she saved 2 breakers. Be the match for Novotna. Chance here to get back even in the final set.
This is a must game for Jana. She doesn't want to be down 3-love against Steffi. But Steffi's finally starting to string together some big first serves.
Andreas Egli saw the ball good. Always difficult to tell.
Steffi seems to have a pattern there with going cross court. I don't know if Jana's not thinking about that, but the last few passing shots topspin have been cross court. Not anticipating that shot. Good technique here. The racket head is up. Enough spin on it for the ball to carry into the court. Needs to do that a little bit more. Needs to put that pressure on Steffi Graf. Again, the ball's bouncing really low towards the baseline. That's where the courts get chewed up.
Point now for 3-love, Steffi Graf.
Forehand hasn't let her down today. She's hit some good solid shots, made a lot of winners.
I don't know what those pills were that Steffi Graf absorbed, but since she took them, she hasn't lost a game. She's 1 point away from 6 in a row. fourth deuce.
I think also when you're winning, you can play through the pain a lot easier than when you're losing.
Oh, she got herself jammed on a bad hop.
Well, that's the problem with that forehand. She has such beautiful timing, but technique-wise, she hits it late. So she has to be right on when she hits that ball, just to clock it perfectly.
Fourth break point in this game. Oh, Jana Novotna, seemingly about to collapse, rallies, back on serve, final set. Well, they continue to question her nerves, and evidence allows the press to do just that. Chanda Rubin, Paris just a month ago, was down love 5, love 30 to Novotna when it all crumbled quicker than the clay of the Tirabatu. And on this point, Rubin would dig out of love 5, love 30 and win 8-6 in the third. And these are the other nightmares. Just 6 above 500 in 3 setters. So that, for a top 4 player in the world, that does offer some evidence of her inability to close out an opponent. But well done the last game, 1-2.
You know, Dick, choke is such a bad word.
It is.
In the tennis player, you know, in the locker rooms, and it's almost like everybody has their own choking styles. I mean, some players, I used to get very tentative. Some players overhit the ball, but every player has done it one time or another.
Bad hop. Well, some of them get angry, some of them just give in. I mean, there are so many personalities, but the tragedy of once you get the reputation that every little instance just adds more fuel.
Every player feels that they have a chance against Jana now, even when she's ahead. Or Gabriela Sabatini, too. And this has been the pattern. Jana plays great when she's behind. She plays like there's no pressure at all. She plays her game. Approach shot, volley. But when she's even or she's ahead, when she senses victory, she does get tight.
7 consecutive points for Novotna. Earlier in this set, Graf had 11 in a row, and we're even at 2-all.
Steffi not trying for that ball. It's very uncharacteristic of her. She tries for everything. And we'll see if Jana plays the same way that she's played the last 2 games. Now she's even.
Set all 2-all. The back can't be bothering her too much.
No,
Stretch like that.
No, because she's serving hard and she's hitting her overhead hard. And once again, Jana, the last 3 points has been on the defensive. She's not dictating the points like she should.
In part because Graf is striking the ball firmly and deep and had very little chance for Novotna.
but, you know, I think she could be doing something a little bit more with Steffi's serves, not just blocking them back. Better point. That's where she wants to be, at the net. And she knows it. She just has to force herself to do it and not be afraid if she misses a few volleys. You know, if you're going to lose, you might as well lose playing your game, playing what you do best.
Well, that was an athletic point, staggering, and had to reach high for the overhead, kept it in play. Sun setting to the west, to the left of the royal box. Shadows now almost reaching mid-court. Temperature over 80, about 83 degrees. Beautiful day again. 2-3, final set.
Conditioning really isn't as much of a factor here at Wimbledon as other Grand Slam tournaments. Go to the U.S. Open, where it's 120 on the hard courts, or the Australian Open in January, where it's 130. Rallies are shorter.
And opening for Steffi Graf, love 30.
It'd be nice to get some big first serves in now.
Imagine Arantxa Sanchez Vicario watching now, saying, just go on and on and on. Play as long as you want, ladies.
I can tell you who she's rooting for to win this match.
And it's not the #1 seed.
No. She'd much rather play Jana.
3 break points. Steffi is 11 and check that 25 and 8 against Arantxa.
Not very good. Many break chances. Not a good percentage for Novotna.
Novotna's 8 and 4 against Arantxa. Graf has the lead 4-2. Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, Steffi Graf, a month ago for the French championship. And Graf in the near court sees that forehand fly wide. And she was genuinely stunned and emotionally wrought over that unexpected win. Had only a week or so to prepare for the French. She told us she thought she'd be out the first week. That wasn't very realistic, but she certainly didn't think she'd win it. This one she thinks she will win. But she has tasted a loss of a set for the first time. And really been pushed by Jana Novotna, and no matter what happens here, Novotna, if she loses, it'll be call up all of the choke stories, and yet She's played marvelously, and
she's played great. She's played much better than I ever thought she would play. I mean, with this tournament, you're bringing in the whole year's results, and she has had a very mediocre year. A lot of injuries, a shoulder injury. Did not play a warm-up tournament before Wimbledon.
Love 30. Good serve.
Great serve. Nice flat one down the tee, down the middle of the court.
15 serve.
96 miles an hour. Deep into the third set, almost 2 hours of play. Excellent approach.
And you can see her thinking, I don't want to be back here trading ground strokes with Steffi Graf, the greatest ground strokes in the game. Please give me a mid-court ball. And sure enough, she took advantage of that.
2 break points. Graf taking the initiative.
30-40.
Another point to get back on serve for Jana Novotna.
Well, Jana just popping up that shot. She'll have to do better than that.
Yes.
Steffi coming in at every opportunity.
2 hours this second semifinal. 2 lengthy 3-set matches. First time in 15 years at Wimbledon in the semis. 3 sets. It's out.
Oh, she did so beautifully to just get back into that point and into position.
Advantage Miss Graf.
What a stretch this was, but her recovering was beautiful. Just missed.
Now a point for 5-2 for the #1 player in the world. It's good.
Yes.
You heard Novotna yell out, yeah. And some folks here thought that was an out call. Third break point for Novotna in this game.
Advantage Miss Novotna.
answer. What a backhand by Graf.
It was a very smart play. Jana Novotna just not deep enough. Steffi's inside the baseline when she returns this.
Champion's touch, though, for the winner.
Oof.
Advantage, Miss Graf.
Steffi really making an effort, trying to end the points a little earlier than usual. Leads me to believe we're going to be hearing more about that back after this match.
Another point for 5-2.
Game is Graf.
Jana Novotna. No one expected, including Steffi Graf, that she would play at such a high level. Won the opening set 7-5. Had chances to close it out in 2. Couldn't break Graf when the opportunities were there. Graf survived 6-4 and now up just 1 break. Novotna serves 2-5 to stay in the match.
And I think the whole key to this set has been Steffi Graf playing the big points better. That's why she's #1. She just relishes those big pressure points. She doesn't shy away from them. She doesn't get nervous or shaky.
White, please. Thank you.
And now we're going to see Jana Novotna playing some loose tennis once again. When she's behind, she plays her best.
And Graf is proving to herself she doesn't have to wing it 100% to hit a winner. Novotna digging low.
30-50.
Half volley.
Out. Sergio.
If Steffi Graf should win this match, we're going to see a very relieved Steffi. She knows Jana is a very dangerous player. She was down a set, point for 4-3. She was in a real hole.
Good return.
Use.
The other side of this whole equation is, and it's how unkind a reputation can be. Had Graf lost, would anyone have accused her of choking? And now she's at match point for the finals against Arantxa Sanchez Vicario.
Advantage, Miss Graf. Thank you.
Yeah, the smile of a champion. She showed what she's made of in Paris to win there. And despite the struggles with her health and down under pressure against a tough grass court player, Steffi Graf finds enough. 5-7, 6-4, 6-2. The question must be asked now if Steffi now makes her way to the final, now that she's on her way, how healthy she'll be against Arantxa Sanchez Vicario as she goes for her 17th Grand Slam. It had been easy until today. 2 hours and 8 minutes. So breakfast at Wimbledon's the ladies final Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. Graf, Sanchez Vicario. What a day on center court, the ladies semifinals. We'll be back with more.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of security.
The Dean Witter shot of the day comes to you from the first set of the match between Steffi Graf, serving in the far court, and Jana Novotna. As they trade ground strokes, Steffi coming in, and Jana with a great reach and athleticism to get that forehand, but leaving Steffi with an easy winner in the open court. Novotna would go on to break Graf in the game and win the first set. So for the first time since 1980, both of the ladies' semifinals reached 3 sets, but world's number 1 and 2 prevail. Steffi Graf after losing that first set, and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario after dropping a second set tiebreak. This is what the winner said after the matches.
I think that if I play Steffi, I will have to try to be as aggressive as I've been doing, against Conchita, and wait until I have the chance, and sometimes serve and volley, but I have nothing to lose, and I know I can probably play this kind of tactics, so I'm looking forward to play.
Well, it's going to be such a different match from what was going on today, but it's one thing I'm not going to underestimate her at all. I mean, she's been coming through to the finals impressively. She played well again today. We should have won it even easier. So I think that's one thing that I'm not going to do is feel I'm the absolute favorite. I don't feel like that at all right now.
So the ladies' championship matchup is set. Graf and Sanchez Vicario, world number 1 and 2, and they meet for breakfast at Wimbledon Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern.